blue, and then in 10 minutes it'll be 100% blue. Then it's good. You put the pump on and you pump it out, and it'll stay stirred for about a week. If you let it sit more than a week, you have to stir it again.
Okay.
All right. So that's that. And then, I mean, you don't have to buy one of these. You can use a wrench, anything to unscrew that. Okay, so that's that part. Okay, so what's next? Okay, this is the you've got 150 gallons of gel coat for 15,000 square feet. It's 15,000 square feet, right? Okay, for 15,000 square feet, you're gonna use about 60 gallons on the first coat, because the first coat, you're gonna thin this down 10% with acetone. You're gonna need about 12 to 15 gallons of acetone, and I didn't get that for you, so I mean, I have it. If you want to buy it from me, I can sell it to you.
Yeah,
but
we get it from here.
Yeah, I didn't put it on your bill though.
Okay, I paid today. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to figure out how much it costs, because I don't know how much it
Okay.
costs, because we don't sell it. Okay, so the first coat, your first coat of gel coat, don't put any tint in it, and then, well, we better back up. Okay, so let's do mixing the polyester resin first. This is the hardener. Okay.
That's a lot.
Oh yeah, well, it's, you're gonna be using 1 ounce per gallon. And
1
I'll show
ounce
you how
per
to
gallon.
measure that. Okay, so what you do is, for your first couple of mixes, just mix 1 gallon. But then when you start, you're gonna have to mix 3 or 4 gallons at a time, because, you know, look how much you have to mix.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna do is,
Yeah.
you're gonna measure, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and for every gallon you put in there, you're gonna use this. This is 1 ounce. So you take this, you fill this right, so you would put 3 in there. And you're gonna need, you can go to Home Depot. See, we have these, but
So
they're,
when I put 3 right here, you gotta mix it.
Yeah.
How long?
Right.
10 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Only 2 minutes
Okay.
with a good drill. But you need a long one of these.
Okay.
The bigger one. You need the bigger one.
With drill, we can use drill. To
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that?
regular
Okay.
drill. Yeah. So, I mean, the same drill you're going to use to mix those, but or you can use a different drill. So you mix it up, but you're going to need a lot of these. Maybe,
Yeah, bucket.
10.
We buy 10, 20 bucket.
yeah, you 10 of those. You need about 10 of these, because you're going to have to be, you know, people are going to have to be bringing it up to the top, and get lids for these too. So you can empty out, you know, it takes 10 of these to empty out a drum, and then you can bring a whole.
We will lift all those.
Yeah,
to
those
the-
will be
to
on the
the top.
ground.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get them through the top?
We lift it.
Well, we can do that on the first floor too. Just get it.
Because those are, that, you know,
one bucket on top.
one of
Oh,
those
really?
pallets weighs, let's see,
500 pounds, you said.
well, 500 pounds for each drum, so that's that would be 2,000 pounds. So I don't know if the roof can take that much weight in one spot.
No, we take one each every
Oh,
time.
one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
on
Yeah, that'll work.
on Thursday we're going to lift those.
So those 3 right here are different, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Different.
They are paint.
Yeah.
Those are paint.
This is the finish coat. This goes last. It's white. This is,
All we're mixing with this,
what is that?
the coal.
The black. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The black you're gonna mix with this.
This will be finished.
Right. This is the finish. But the first coat of this, you have to put 10% acetone in it. So 10% is 12 ounces per gallon.
Okay, 10%. Okay.
So for every gallon you mix, you have to put 12 ounces of acetone. And that's only for the first coat. For the second coat, you're not going to put any, or maybe if it's too thick, you can put 5% in. If it's hot out, this starts getting too thick to roll, you can put 5% in the second coat. Right. Yeah, for the first coat, no color. And then, so you'll probably use, this is 150 gallons. You'll probably use about 60 or 65 gallons on the first coat, and then 75 gallons on the second coat. So, and you mix this the same
The
way.
second coating, what percentage you use for acetone?
The second coat, you can either do no acetone or 5%. If it's getting very thick, sometimes when it's hot, it gets thick. So then just do 5%, which would be 6 ounces per gallon. Okay. So, like I said, this is the easy part. Because once you've done the whole roof, which I'm going to teach you in a minute, this is just like painting. You just, you pour it down, and you're going to need a whole lot. You go to Home Depot, those 3 packs of rollers, those disposable paint rollers, you're going to need a lot of those. Maybe like
paint, right?
like
Yeah, the paint
30.
rollers.
Yeah, because you're just going to be.
I just go to Home Depot or Lowe's to buy those rollers.
Because this is really, you're just going to be pushing the resin around. You're not really, and when you put the when you're putting the gel coat on, and when you're putting the resin on, you just pour it down, and then you push it around with this. Okay. All right. So that's how you mix it, and you'll get an idea if it's, if it starts hardening up too quickly, then do 2 gallons at a time. If you can, do 4 gallons at a time, because the more you can do, and you have to have one person mixing the resin, and then one person pouring it down, and then I'll show you the next step. So the next step, this is the roof. So you're going to be taking the resin, pouring it down just like we did here, and you're going to coat all the wood with the resin. And it should take about 1 gallon for every 100 square feet. So you're going to use that many. And so, okay, then this is the next step. And this is where it's going to be a little bit difficult at first, but then once you get going, once you've done this a couple of times, it starts to become easy. So let's say, really you should do the walls first, but I'm going to show you how to do the floor, but you should do the walls first. Okay. So what you do is, let's say you have a length that's 30 feet long or 100 feet long. You roll this whole thing out, right? And you mix up the resin and you pour it down, or from this, you just pour it down. And this, wherever the resin is on there, it'll turn from white to clear like this, where you see the wood. And what you want to do is, I gave you, you have 25 of these over there. So what happens is you have to have a guy. You could put a pole in there. Yeah. So just like this, you could put a pole on there. And see, as long as you keep having someone give you fresh resin, the resin will not harden up on here. You could go for 2 or 3 hours with one of these, and then when it hardens up, just throw it away. This you're going to clean with acetone. Okay. So you pour down the resin, and then you just use this to push it forward. And then wherever it turns clear, try to push that resin forward. Keep pushing it forward. And then when you can't push it forward anymore, pour down your next thing and keep going. and you just go the whole length, and you do it that way. Now, here is something that is very, very important. Sometimes there will be white spots, and you have the guy following behind with this. And if there's a white spot or a bubble or the hairs are sticking up, you go like this or you go like that. And sometimes if you do like this, the white spot doesn't go away. That means there's not enough resin on there. So you pour more resin down. It has to be 100% clear. You should be able to see the wood completely. If there's any white, don't move from here to here, because after 20 minutes, you won't be able to remove that white, and that'll be a weak spot. So as long as this is 100% clear, you've done it correctly, okay? So then you just, this is when you're doing the floor. I'm gonna show you how to do the walls in a minute. So you just do a whole section that way, and then the next section, you're going to overlap 1 inch, and then you just do the whole thing again. Right. So that's how you do.
Just 1 inch, right? Overlap.
Yeah, one overlap.
A little bit more is fine, I think.
Right, and you're only doing one layer of this. You're gonna saturate the wood, all the wood with resin, and then just one layer of this, and two coats of gel coat. The first coat of gel coat you thin down 10%. The second coat, maybe you thin it down, maybe you don't. It depends on how thick
Can we
it
do
is.
2 inches?
Hmm?
Can we do 2 inches overlap?
You can, but it's
Yeah.
not necessary. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it wouldn't
to
hurt.
make it safer,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, just use a little bit more material.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 1 inch is
Right.
a little bit sometimes.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to do the walls. Now, okay, here's the wall.
Yeah, this is our wall, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So because you have to, okay,
Oh, you
both
print it
of you
out.
guys, you have to bring the fiberglass all the way up the wall and to here,
Okay.
right? So I would put caulk in here, fill that with caulk on both sides, and then this wood has to be.
What about on the floor? Like all these seams?
The seams, no.
No?
You don't-
like over here.
Unless you can drop a quarter into them. If they're very big.
If it's like this, it's okay. Yeah. This is
Well,
okay,
I'll
yeah.
show you.
This is okay.
Now here, where's some of my seams? Okay, here. Here. Where the hell are my seams? That's not really a seam. Okay, here, over here. I'm sorry. If it's like this, you don't have to do anything because the
Everything will
resin will
fill,
fill in.
right?
But if it's any bigger than that, then you might put a wood filler or caulk. But this would be
What kind of caulk?
outdoor roofing caulk.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, are any of your gaps bigger than this?
Probably gonna get
Okay, all right.
big gaps.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that happens. Okay, now we're gonna learn how to do the walls. So you're going to, you're gonna prime. You're gonna put the resin on this, just like you did the floor, and you're gonna put the resin on this, just like you did the floor.
Okay.
So now we're going to show you how to do a wall. Okay. So this is the wall. So you're going to take the mat. Now pretend that this is 50 inches wide. You're going to take the mat and let it go a little bit onto the floor, and you're going to bring it right up to here and do this. Now,
We're gonna make like little angles right here.
are you going to put angles in there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. And then, so this will stay just fine. This will stay just fine. But this will keep doing that. So you have to have a man following behind for about 15 minutes.
Holding.
Well, not holding, doing this.
Okay.
Every time, once it gets wet with resin, it'll stay down. It'll look like it's going to stay down. Then you turn your back for 1 minute, and it pops up. So you got to have a man following behind you, doing this. So I would prime all the wood on the whole roof, and then I would do the walls first. And you would let the mat come just a little bit down onto the floor, just like 2 inches onto the floor. So that when you do the floor, it's overlapping, you know what I mean? So you would do it like this, and then when you do the floor, you would overlap it.
This 1 inch or 3 inches?
3 inches.
3 inches?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 inches, right?
But it's better to do the walls first.
Yeah, we do the
Wall
wall
first?
first. Yeah, do wall first. Yeah.
Do all the walls first, and because the walls are a little bit more difficult because you're going to have to. You can pour the resin on the top here.
So we put 3 inches right here. What about this one right here? 12 inches?
No, all the way.
No, this
All the way up.
Okay, no, this goes like this.
No, I'm talking about on the
And
floor.
no, then when you do when you do the floor,
all right.
you just you bring
Just
it
do
all
that,
the way
right?
to the wall.
Okay.
You bring it all the way up to the wall. Now the walls are going to be a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to work out of a bucket, so you're going to have the resin in here and just keep having someone pour more in there, and you'll
Get it
go
from the
like
bucket.
this and it'll be dripping,
Okay.
and you go like that, and then you go but you can pour the resin. Let's see. You can pour the resin on this part. You know, have somebody with a small bucket pouring the resin on this part, and then you roll it. But for this part, you're going to have to work out of a bucket.
So-
That's why the floor is so much more easy, because you just pour the resin down and you push it around. But again, this has to be snow white. Never leave, it has to be perfectly clear. If there's any white, put more resin on, or do this back and forth. Now you got 25 of these. What you're gonna do is you're gonna have another bucket like this, and all of your tools, when you're not using them, you're gonna keep them soaking in acetone all day. And then at the end of the day, take them apart and clean them with acetone, and then they'll be good for the next day. But you got 25 because these wear out and things like that. Okay, so now, then you do the wall, and I showed you how to do the floors. So you do the whole floor that way, you do all the walls that way, every surface you do that way, and then you're done. That's the hard part. Then you're done the hard part. And then for the gel coat, you're gonna mix it up, and you're gonna use the same amount of hardener in the gel coat. And then in the first coat, you're gonna thin it down 10% with acetone, and do the whole first coat, the thin coat. And when you prime the wood with the resin, it's going to stay a little bit sticky. So try to keep your shoes clean, And then when you put the mat down and put the resin on it, still going to be a little bit sticky. The first coat of gel coat is going to be a little bit sticky, but the second coat of gel coat is not going to be sticky, and here's why. This is called surfacing wax. In the second coat of gel coat, for every ounce of gel coat in the second coat, you're going to put in 2 ounces of this wax.
Every gallon.
Right, in the second coat.
Every gallon, 2 ounces.
Two of these.
2
Two
ounces.
of these.
Okay.
Two ounces. So you've got 1 full gallon here.
2 ounces, right?
Like 2 ounces, yeah.
2 ounces
You've
per
got
gallon.
this is 1 3/4. You've got more than you need, because this is 128 ounces and this is 96. So you've got you'll have more than this than you need, and you're going to have more hardener than you need.
Okay.
Now resin, I don't know. It all depends. You may need a little bit more of the resin.
Yeah, if not enough, we'll come back.
Yeah. So, and see what this does, when you do that first coat, it stays tacky because it doesn't cure to 100% in the presence of oxygen. Because imagine you're building a boat, and you have to do like 15 layers, and if they had to sand every time in between layers, it would be